A few weeks ago, I posted a full tour of my island, and almost immediately afterwards, I saw so many other islands that were just uncalled for and made mine feel very inadequate. So to make myself feel better, I spent another nearly 200 hours revamping everything, every little spot on my island. And in this video, I'm going to do a full tour so you can see all the changes, but more so to show you the before and after to give you ideas on how to improve on your island without completely starting over once you've gotten it to a decent place. So you see, this is not 100% a redemption video, okay? It's like 60-40. All right, 70-30, 80-20. Okay, fine, it's a redemption video. So originally, right when you got off the airport, I had this little trading post for when I did online trades or crafting for people, but no one really used the stall or anything. They just dropped the shit on the ground like a bunch of savages. So I got rid of that and built up this entry area, which I loved because it felt weird not having one, you know? So I wanted to have something here with a little bit of landscaping and a not too over-the-top statue. It's just a nice way to say hello, you know, like welcome to Sanctuary Island, where we have a little bit of landscaping and not too over-the-top statues. Right next to the entrance is a little booth for our tourists. Like, you know how you go to the beach and they have all those little brochures of attractions and things to do? That's what this is supposed to be. It's just a little information center with some refreshments, island brochures, and complimentary cotton candy. Don't sleep on the cotton candy, it's delicious. By the way, on the stall is a stack of magazines that I customized to match the island flag so it'll look like brochures for the island. Just want to point out that I can be this level of psychotic when it comes to details. Now the cafe is still here. This is what it looked like before, and this is what it looks like now. I just expanded it so it doesn't feel so cramped, you know? And it gave me a spot to put out these cherry blossom branches, which is a weird flex because these are seasonal items that can be pretty hard to get. Yeah, I'm just losing all sense of chill at this point. The beaches are pretty much the same. I just added more items to make it look more like a public beach, so nothing crazy going on here. I like to keep the beaches pretty open so it's easier to get around and easier to fish and easier to get disappointed because Gulliver is not here. And by the way, a few people have already asked me, but I have this garden faucet out here by the beaches because it kind of looks like those beach showers where you wash off the sand as you're leaving. So it wasn't an accident putting this here, even though it kind of looks like it was an accident. To the right of the cafe is the museum, which is in the same spot. So this is how it looks before. Yeah, I thought I was so clever having the fossils out on display. And here's how it looks now, which I like so much better because it feels like it has its own space, you know? Like the saber-toothed tiger was right here before and was so close to the cafe that it was basically ordering a small vanilla latte. But now I had these hedges all around it and the fossils are in the back surrounded by water, so it kind of makes the museum separate from everything else. And just like the museum, the shops are in the same spot. This is how they looked before, you know, just kind of bland with only a fence around them, which wasn't really necessary. So I removed the fences and added in a bunch of decor and furniture around them, which I think looks so much better, man. It's like, it's not over the top, but it's just enough to give them way more character and more of a lived-in kind of vibe. And by the way, I'm trying my hardest to not let the T-Rex's ass get to me, you know, because it's like staring the sister's shop right in the face. Like the mammoth one is cool, you know, it's respectful, it's conservative, it's fine. But the T-Rex is just like, and I'm trying to not let it get the best of me because it looks really cool from the front. So I'm just gonna, I'm gonna stay strong, you know, that's all I can do. Now, I'm pretty hardcore when it comes to smoothies and juices. Like, I usually have at least 2 a day, so it seemed very fitting to make a juice stand, which is probably one of my favorite spots on the island. I mean, look how cozy it is. You know, come take a break from shopping and avoiding the asses of extinct dinosaurs, grab a smoothie and enjoy it right here by the water. I mean, it doesn't get much better. And the next part is the music venue, so here's how it looked before, which is not too bad, you know, I didn't hate it. And right next to it, on this little peninsula thing, I built a boardwalk. And now, it's the same idea, but I turned the venue around so you can see the stage a lot better. And I put more palm tree lamps and floor lights out here, which look pretty badass at night. I just love being able to see the actual stage. And I didn't really touch the boardwalk because I was already happy with it, so I just changed the way these 2 stalls looked and added in this soft serve lamp so I could do this. But probably the biggest thing that I did over here was change the layout of the path, because before you had to walk through the venue to get to the bridge, which I wasn't really a big fan of, you know, like I don't want to have to walk through something to get somewhere. So I put the venue in the middle and built a path around it, which makes way more sense. I don't know why I didn't do this before. So just like last time, I'm going to backtrack and show you the suburb area. Now look at how it was before, just very plain, barren, not a lot to look at, and for some reason I thought this looked good. I don't know what was going on with me. I was in a dark place. And this is how it looks now. Like, you can already tell just on this side that there's so much more going on, especially with this new entrance, which I really wanted to have because it sort of acts as a buffer between this area and the town. Like before, there was nothing special about it. You could just see everything before you even went over the bridge. But now having something like this entrance gives you a solid transition from one area to the next and makes it look so much bigger because you can't see past the trees. It just gives it way more depth, whereas before, it seemed so small that if I sneezed, I would tag whoever was sitting on that bench no problem. So if we keep going up, we'll find a few of the villagers' houses. I like to spread them out and give them some kind of yard, you know, so they're not stacked on top of each other. And when it comes to designing the outside of their houses, I try to make everything match how they look and to their personality type. A good example of this is Francine's house. This is Francine. She's an OG. She was one of the first residents with me, so she has like one of the better yards. And you see she's mainly blue and white with green, yellow, and pink accents on her face. So I put green, yellow, and pink flowers around her blue and white house. Again, this level of psychotic when it comes to the details. Another example is Leonardo's house. He's a tiger, so I planted these black and orange cosmoses around his house along with the orange lawnmower and black seating area. And his personality type is a jock, so he's always talking about working out and flexing, so I put protein powder on the table. Now, I didn't do that level of detail with the furniture for all the houses, just the villagers that I really liked, but everyone at least has flowers that match the way they look. So over here we are back to where the venue is. It's just over this bridge. And if we keep going up, we'll head into the campsite. So this is how it looks before, nothing too crazy, just a chair and a pond. And this is how it looks now. You see, I made it way more like a foresty kind of campground with all these trees and the dirt path, which I use a lot of custom paths and designs, by the way, so I'll be sure to put all the design IDs in the description so you guys can check them out. But it's the same story with this, you know, adding in all these trees makes this whole area seem a lot bigger and like a totally different place. Like here it is again before, just a wide open spot, not a lot to it. You can see the back of it before you even walk up here. And now there's a lot more character and feels like so much more to explore because the trees add that much depth to it. Alright, heading left is the lake with a walking trail around it. This is how it looks before, and I really didn't change too much. The only big difference is that I replaced the fountain in the middle. So here's how it looks now, pretty much the same, but I replaced the fountain with this completely obnoxious moon. I couldn't resist, man. I mean, look at it. How could I not? And all around the lake, I placed down the 12 zodiac star fragments. Really, I just love this area at night. They look really cool as lamps, and I just think it's a nice way to highlight that part of the game with Celeste, you know? If we keep going left, it will circle back around to the suburb area, but if we keep going up, this used to lead to the orchard, which would span across this whole back middle section. But now, since Red visits this private beach, I pushed the whole entrance of the orchard over and dug out this little path so I could just run back there. And the orchard is just about the same. All I did was cut out a few of these apple trees, which I'm not mad about because before it was just a little too much, and now it's actually toned down and seems more reasonable. But alright, now to my absolute favorite part of the island. So over here is the exact same. This is like the little zen bath area. I don't know, I just like it. And on this side is the cemetery. So I didn't change this too much. This is how it looked before. It just had a bunch of roses over here to the right that didn't really lead anywhere, which I still think looks pretty good. But now I've added in a couple of trees to make this whole area look a little fuller. But more importantly, my favorite part is that I pushed back this waterfall and built in this whole zen garden with this beautiful bridge that connects back to the other side, so we don't always have to run through the orchard. I just love the way this came out, man. It's my favorite part because it gives me an area to place all these really cool statues and pagoda and other items that, you know, didn't really fit just thrown into the corner somewhere. And plus, it was a lot of fun designing this mixture of bushes, hedges, and tall floor plants, which really goes a long way in making things look natural and not too repetitive. Coming down this way leads to the bonfire area, which I didn't change very much. It's my least favorite area because I feel like I can do so much more with it, but I don't know what that is just yet. So I'll save that for redemption video number 2. This bridge used to lead over to the public pool area, which again, I didn't really care for either because the pool is just too small. You know, it just looked weird. So I tore it all down and changed it to a tiki bar for the locals, which I think looks so much better in this spot than the pool. The idea is that this is a local bar because it's pretty far away from the main town, which I felt like was something the villagers would need so they can get away from all those damn tourists. If we keep making our way down, all of this is the same. I just added more flowers and decor, and the farm is still here. I just changed the path to the dirt path from the campsite and surrounded it with trees. Yeah, I realized that I didn't have a lot of trees before, which really makes a lot of difference, so don't lose all your trees. Coming down this way used to be this country area, which looks like a barren wasteland. I don't know what I was doing, okay? But here it is now. I added a bunch of palm trees, one more house on this side, and then just decorated the exteriors a little more. That's all I did, but it seems like I did a lot more, and I think it's because of those palm trees. Again, appreciate those trees, man. They go a long way. And finally, making our way back to the entrance, Francine's house used to be right here over this bridge, but I switched it with the hotel. So this is how it looks now. This is the house that I made on a second account, which I turned into an island hotel. I made a video on it, so I'll have the link to that in the description if you want to check it out. But it seemed way more fitting to have the hotel down here by the beach, which is still right by the airport. So coming off the airport, go left, and here it is. And yeah, I wanted to have a shell fountain out in front of it, but it wouldn't be centered with the house, and that just drove me nuts. So I put this large fountain out here and made the path around it look like a shell. Right, you can see it. It looks like a shell, right? And down here on the beach is a little surf shop that also does rentals for the hotel. It just reminds me of one that they had in Hawaii when I went there, back when I could leave my house and go places and everything was fine. Oh, but let's not open that door. And the last little bit that I want to show you is the outside of my house. So this is how it looked before. I don't know, it looks so bad. I don't know what I was thinking. And like you had to walk through my yard to get to the other bridge. Like that didn't make any sense. So here's how it looks now. I separated it, so now I have like the Zen fence going around it and a path going around my house so you don't have to walk through it. And I put my house in the middle so I could have like this back deck pool area, which is just, it's so nice out here, man, because I can see the Zen garden back there, that little backdrop. It sustains me, you know, after a long day of like fishing and catching nothing but sea bass. It's just a nice place to unwind and think about how hard life is. But that's it for the tour. I really hope you all enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. And if you want to see more videos like this, consider subscribing and hitting the bell so you don't miss any. But thanks again, and I'll talk to you soon.